YouTube sequence should I be here with a review of the Kamen Rider Drive TKPB01 Kamen Rider Proto-Drive. So this is the first hero scene in the show, sort of, if you want to get technical. But anyway, this is the prototype design for Drive, and for those of you that watched the show, spoiler alert! It's actually Machine Chaser, which eventually becomes Kamen Rider Chaser, so he's got quite a few forms under his belt at this point. But anyway, this figure was released via Premium Bandai Exclusive, obviously, hence the PB, in May 2015 for about 3,780 yen, give or take before middleman fees, so you're looking at probably about 40 bucks for this guy. Again, give or take. Here's Machine Chaser over here on there in the suit of the pick of the suit of the show. Suit in the show. I can't speak today, so I don't even know why I'm bothering. But you have this tiny box about the same size as the standard figure art boxes nowadays, and pretty simple. Nothing else really to it. As you can see right here from the taxi, it does come with the Dimension cab tire. So that is pretty cool. We'll take a look at that as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this open and take a look. And here he is. I adore this figure. This figure is great. Just like Frosted Flakes, this figure is great. So basically, you have the same sort of mold going on here as Type Speed, which makes sense because it's the prototype for Speed. But man, there's just a lot of cool going on in this figure. For one thing, all of the main pieces of the armor are all in a matte finish black. It almost comes across as sort of really dark gray in person. And man, if you know me at all, you know I have a thing for matte finish paint on figures. Hence why I really liked SH Figuarts Kamen Rider Joker. And stuff like that. It looks really nice on display, and even not being a figure art, the fact that this is a premium release of the gimmick figure means this guy gets a little bit more paint than other figures normally would, and man, it just looks gorgeous. The matte finish black against the kind of glossy black of the undersuit looks great. The head in the words. The design throughout his helmet is actually done very nicely, and again, when I bring in shift speed for comparison, you'll see where that premium quality totally makes this guy very much worth it and stuff. Unfortunately, the shift cars here are not painted. I don't remember if he even had shift cars. Yeah, he did, even though I don't think he could use them. I don't think the Protodrive was capable of actual Tire Koukans, but apparently he had the shift cars. He did, because they saved people. So I'm not sure if he could actually do the Tire Koukans or not. I would have to double check on that fact. But he did have the shift cars right there. So it's a shame that they couldn't paint those in, even if it was just one solid color, given the fact it's a premium release. His shift speed prototype, right down here in his brace, was actually painted, so that's nice. And it would have been really nice to get that silver painted down here as well, but again, what they did do to this figure over shift speed just makes it look really, really nice. I dig it a lot. And then back here you have the painted red kind of backlights right there, looking sharp. And as always with these figures, just sort of the underside of the car, a design that the back of the suit has going on for it, just looks great as well. So an absolutely phenomenal looking figure. In terms of articulation, you have the same base points of articulation as shift speed. Full rotation, it's just a ball and socket joint at the head. Full rotation at the shoulders, working off a swivel system up there. A swivel at the bicep, though though you have to watch out because there is a line design there, so if you get all too crazy with it, it ends up looking kind of stupid. So watch that, but you do have a single joint right there, and a swivel at the cuff as well, so there's all sorts of little swivelies in his arm. You do get a waist movement, no ab crunch or anything like that, obviously, and a little swivel system set up in his hips. A swivel at the thigh, single joint at the knee, no other articulation down at the bottom of the leg there, and a ball and socket joint for the foot. So all the simple points of articulation that we're pretty much used to with these gimmick figures. He looks really, really great. So bringing in shift speed, type speed for comparison. So obviously there's no spoiler on the back of his head, just like the shift speed prototype does. The tire is different obviously because he doesn't have a tire. He just has that base form of the suit that I can't really describe all that well. But as I was mentioning through other points throughout the review, the shift car is painted on the arm. And that is really about it. That's super noticeable right off the top of the head, wow. What I'm trying to say is, right off the top of your head, that's probably the first thing that you see. However, if you look at the head, this is painted here while it isn't here. And for some reason, that just makes a world of difference on this figure. And to top that off, just the design of Protodrive's helmet right here with that line design that's also on Shift Speed Prototype. It just looks really nice, and you could tell the premium quality that went into this. And then back here, again, that silver runs throughout, and the metallic red right there just really makes the head sculpt stand out more than anything on this figure. But again, just really, really gorgeous for this guy. And of course, being the same figure, you can split them apart, and you can mix and match them. So you can make like some sort of weird Kamen Rider double-esque thing with the pieces of these two guys. So it actually ends up looking pretty cool. I kind of like this one over here because he has a nice head sculpt. So I kind of like that one. I dig it. And of course you can just switch out the tires. This is probably about as close as you can get toy-wise for drive type speed with no tire. That looks pretty close. I think the suit in the show is a little bit more kind of squished in to make it look like he has no tire and not like jettisoning out a little bit. But you can get that design going for you, and if you want him to look more like type speed, you can do that as well. So all sorts of mix and match possibilities with this set. And of course, if you want to put some other tires onto Protodrive, you are more than welcome to. I'm going to use Midnight Shadow because that's usually my go-to for these sort of things. Plus, I thought the purple would look really nice. Unfortunately, the purples are nowhere near close to matching, and it still comes across looking very blue. And there's still a gap there that's really weird. But, hey, it is what it is. So you can use any of the other tires on this guy. No sweat. And, of course, I'll just keep him apart while we look at the Dimension Cab tire. And what's kind of unique about this one is that it's set up a little bit like Dream Vegas. However, instead of being put together via a connection joint, it's done entirely through magnets. And what's really cool about this is that just like how Dream Vegas Dimension Cab works in the show, the two parts split and you can travel around through portals. So that is really cool. So while you attach like this portion onto a figure, and you can have him just sort of standing here doing whatever, because that's generally what this portion of the body did. Well, this portion of the body is the one that went through the portal and traveled. And I don't really have anything around me that can... Oh, here we go. I can use my light right here. So these magnets are actually pretty powerful. And if you have anything that's metal... Kind of get them situated and move our light. So you can actually just like peg him onto metal things via the magnets, and he just sort of hangs out, and that's actually really, really cool. So you can like stick him to your fridge or anything like that, and I like that a lot. And of course they just snap right together to give the Dimension Cab look. And of course you can use this alongside type speed as well if you so are inclined. The two parts do like come here part quite a bit. But hey, they're parts, that's what they're supposed to do. So you can attach it to type speed as well. So TKPB01 is just really great, at least for me. I was really in love with the Protodrive suit the first time we seen it. That color scheme is just really sharp, and while I always like to drive-based design, Protodrive sleeks it out a bit and turns into something that I just really love. And so as soon as this figure was announced, I knew I had to get it. I'm still really holding out hope for a Figure Arts version because I think that would just be sexy as all hell. But this one is certainly a great placeholder. If you have other TK figures, this one works absolutely perfectly with all the other ones. Plus, that middle section gives you a nice posing opportunity for drive with no tire. So that's something you couldn't really do before. So that's really neat as well. Plus, it's the only way to get the dimension cap tire. And with the magnets in that one, it's really fun to kind of put them around your house and take goofy pictures. So it is most certainly great for that. The price is a little bit high for what you end up getting, since he is the same mold as the first release of the line. However, there is so much done to this figure that it is definitely justifiable if you are a fan. If you are not a fan of the look of the toy or just don't really like the TK line, obviously this is a pretty easy pass. But if you're a fan whatsoever, I do recommend hunting this figure down if you're too impatient to wait for a Figure Art version. Even if you're not, even if you don't want the Figure Art version and you want this version, go ahead and get this version too. What I'm trying to say is that it's a really fun figure and I like it a lot. So that about does it for this review. If you like it, go ahead and blast that like button, comment below, and subscribe for more. So, thank you for watching. Take care and have a great one. Bye.